Let's say that you bought an inexpensive hardtail as your first entry into mountain biking. You put hundreds if not thousands of miles on it, and now you have outgrown the bike. Many riders at this point look to upgrade to a full suspension mountain bike. When looking for an entry-level bike, many people will be torn between purchasing a bike online versus in the store. In this video, we will be comparing two entry-level full suspension mountain bikes, one being a Trek, which is offered at local bike shops, and the other being a Polygon Siskiu, which can be purchased online and shipped right to your door. Before we begin, please take note that the Trek Fuel EX retails for $2,100, whereas the Polygon goes for $1,300. You'll find that most entry-level full suspension bikes carried in shops will start at around $1,800 to $2,000, whereas you can get a great value full suspension bike online starting around $1,300 to $1,500. Trek is a well-known bike brand, and I rented their Fuel EX5 29er, which is their entry-level option. The model I rode is 2 years old, and Trek has released a new version, but this model will be a good reference. The Polygon Siskiu comes in at $1,300 and features 120mm of travel front and rear, and this bike is geared more towards XC riders. Both bikes feature a RockShox Recon air fork, which is RockShox's entry-level air fork. They both have through axles front and rear, but the Fuel EX has boost spacing up front where the Siskiu doesn't. Both bikes come with entry-level Shimano hydraulic 2-piston brakes. The Trek I rode had an older version, but they're essentially the same model. You will notice that both bikes have a lot of house-branded parts. These are brands that they either own or have exclusive rights with. Polygon uses Entity parts for stems, bars, seats, and wheels, whereas Trek owns Bontrager parts, and you'll find their parts all over the EX Fuel 29er. The rear shock is what really separates these two bikes. The Polygon Siskiu has an X-Fusion Pro 02 RL, which is okay, but the Trek's RockShox Deluxe is a much better shock, and the current version of the Fuel EX comes with a Deluxe Select Plus, which is an even better offering. The Polygon comes with a generic crankset, whereas the Trek comes with a race face crank, but the Siskiu features an 11-speed XT derailleur and 11 to 46 tooth cassette. But the current Fuel EX only offers a 10-speed lower spec Shimano Dior derailleur and an 11 to 42 tooth cassette. Both bikes come with tubeless ready wheel sets. The Trek comes stock with Bontrager tires that are tubeless compatible. However, the Polygon comes with tires that are not tubeless compatible. Overall, both of these bikes are great for riders who are looking to get on their first full suspension mountain bike. But the main purpose of this video was to compare the price and specs on a shop brand bike versus an online brand. There is an $800 gap between these two bikes, so which would you choose? It is interesting to see how companies can put some higher spec parts on a bike that costs less, but you need to take into consideration what matters most to you. The geometry of the Trek will allow you to ride almost any terrain, and you won't need to instantly upgrade parts. But the Siskiu is a great option if you're on a tight budget. I hope that you enjoyed this content, and if you did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to keep up to date with the channel.